Morning, greetings everyone. Just wanted to take you back in my backyard for just a minute here. Just right there is our shed, but shed's not really what I wanted to show you. I want to show you my fence. My fence is back here, and it's at the very back of our backyard, and it's got a little gate over there. You can see that. Interesting thing about our fence is that about 10 feet on the other side of our fence is our neighbor's fence. And so we'll come out, Pam and I sometimes will be at our fence on our side of the fence, and we'll be talking with our neighbors on their side of the fence. And it's sort of like what relationships are, isn't it? You know, we have our personal boundaries, our fences, and there's a little safe place in between, and conversations can happen. But last night, something different happened. We've been living here for 3 years. And we were looking at their flower beds on their side, talking about their flowers, and they said, "Have you seen our flowers down by our house?" And we're like, "No, we can't, over the hill, over that, we can't see down those flowers." And he says, "Well, do you want to come down and see them?" I said, "Sure, we'd love to come see your flowers." And so we came and we opened up our gate, and Larry, he opened up his gate, and we walked through that area in between, and we went in their yard and walked down and looked at their flowers, and then sat down on their patio and visited for the evening. It was really a fun evening. And as I thought about that, I thought, it's important that we have good boundaries, right? And we always have our personal space, but God created us for a relationship too. And I think it's always good for us to have some close relationships. Even Jesus did, right? He had his disciples, but then he had his 12, the ones that were a little closer to him. And then out of those 12, he had his 3, the ones that he'd really spend some time with, Peter, James, and John. And those guys got to go with Jesus into some pretty private places, and he shared some of his personal life with them in ways he didn't with other people. So whether, guys, if you've got a brother in Christ, just think about it. Do you have anybody that you let in to your life and can talk about life with? And ladies, do you have a sister you can talk to? But you know what? It's not really what I wanted to talk about today. There actually was something else. So I want to show you, take you to a different fence. This is over on the side of your yard. I'll walk you down there. But maybe you can see it from here, sort of down here, halfway down the yard. We had, about 3 years ago, we had a pine tree growing up over there. And it was time to come down. It's about 25 feet high, I measured it. And it had a little bit of lean to it. I didn't want it to fall down over the fence and crush the fence and damage it any more than it already done damage to. And so tied a rope around it and recruited Oliver, 4 years old at the time. Strapping young boy, probably 36 pounds, dripping wet, probably really 33 pounds, but he's all muscle. So I tied a rope up there and put him on the end of the rope to pull the tree in the right direction so that it would fall this way. And made sure he had enough rope so, if the tree fell, it wouldn't land on him. Interesting thing happened. I fire up the chainsaw and I'm starting to cutting down that tree, and I have the notch in it. And all of a sudden, as I'm down there, I look back up here, and coming through this gate, I see my neighbor. He had heard the chainsaw. He saw Oliver, all 36 pounds of him on the end of the rope, strapped to that tree, right? He's hanging on. He's not going to let go no matter what happens. And he does a quick little assessment. Now, I can see him, and I can see him coming. Pretty agile for a 70-year-old guy. He comes running down the hill and gets there and grabs hold of that rope behind Oliver. And Oliver looks up back at him, but Oliver had it. He's 36 pounds. He's got this thing. And that 200-pound guy behind him, he didn't know why he was grabbing the rope. And so he just comes charging it. Now the thing is, Larry saw the situation. He didn't ask me for permission to come into my yard. He pushed the gate open. He came running down, and he grabbed hold of that rope. As I thought about that, I thought, it's a little bit like what Jesus did with us, isn't it? The Messiah, the Christ. He saw our need, and he left heaven. And somewhere between heaven and entering earth, he took on the name Jesus, right? the promise to Mary and Joseph that they would have this son. And he comes running down, and he lives those 30 years, and then on his tree, the cross, he saves us. We might have thought that we could handle our situation. We might have thought that we could do, just like Oliver, he had a good hold on that rope. He was pretty sure he was going to pull the tree in the right direction. But God saw our need. And Jesus comes and he crashes into our world so that he can save us. And so, as you think about Jesus, think about him. And, I could have told Larry, hey, get out of my yard. I could have called the cops and said, be gone. And I let him stay. Jesus comes and he taps on us and he says, he stands at the door and knocks. If anyone opens the door, hears my voice, opens the door, he'll come in. If you feel like you have Jesus sort of on the outside, you keep him on the other side of the fence. You know about him, he's a good neighbor. Maybe it's time just to open up the gate. Let him come in, let him be part of your life. Well, that's all for Fences today. We hope to see you Sunday. We'll be talking about more weeds. Jesus had a lot to say about weeds. We'll talk about them on Sunday. Hope to see you there or on the video as you tune into that. You guys have a great day. God bless.